Welcome to the Luxine series. This series will have dead times, not so accurate post-production, and a lot of backtracking. This series is meant to be a deep lore analysis and 100% completion of the game. Thanks for your attention. Lasciate ogni speranza o voi chi entrate. Oh gods, welcome to Dante's Hell. I am Dante or Jack, and for the first time, I welcome you all to Luxine Mortuus Spatium. Luxine is a new name for a series that will be concentrated on specific games. As you can see, we are in the XMB, or the home menu of the PS5 that I so luckily possess, and we are on the Dead Space page. Why? Because Dead Space not only is my second favorite game, it is also just recently awarded himself with a remake of his first edition that originally came out in 2008. This is Dead Space 2023. Now, this series is going to be not a first playthrough. This is actually my second, and my first was in hard. This playthrough, being the second one, will be not only a 100% run, as said in the title card, but it will also try to be a deeper analysis of the stories, because when you talk lore, a lot of people go to things like Dead Space, Elden Ring, a From Software game, because there the story is hidden by a lot of things in descriptions, in the ambience and stuff like that. And a lot of people don't know that in other games too there are some connections that not every player grasps, and I'm here to give you those little connections. Some of those are not going to make too much sense because the remake rewrote the story itself from the 2008 original, and so this will be a little start to dig into what I hope is going to be a new trilogy of the Dead Space franchise from EA and Motive Studio that did an amazing job on the remake. Another important thing is, I'm still starting. I'm not a professional YouTuber or something like that. So my English is rusty. I live in Italy and I speak Italian, not English. So my English will be disgusting sometimes. And I will need some time to think about what I'm saying so that I don't start speaking Italian gibberish. But now, before we start anything else, let's get into the game. Another of the important things to discuss is this run will be played at impossible difficulty. Not only because, apart from loving this game, I am also a avid trophy hunter and I would like to have my platinum. I did, after all, get the platinum for the original on PS3 not too late from the previous year. I actually got it at midnight of New Year's Eve. That is a personal best for me. As you can see, New Game Plus is unlocked, but for the hard mode, and we are not interested in that. we will get what I heard is a new Game Plus only available secret ending that I don't know anything about. And before we get into our impossible run with a brand new game, I will tell you this. There will be a lot of reading, not only from objects we find in the game, but also from different sources. From the Dead Space wiki, made and wrote from the fans, and the official, not only EA site for the Dead Space Remake that they so generously provided to everyone to read, but also it will have all the other information that I could, find again before the game even came out, like the little necromorph logs. So maybe every time we meet a necromorph, after we kill it for the first time, I will first read the 2023 informations available on the site or that we got from the studio, and then go to the fandom to look at what the fans wrote about them before in 2008 and what they could have modified now with the remake coming out. So, new game, impossible difficulty. Impossible, a special challenge mode. Completing it will earn a unique suit and weapon. This mode has the same damage setting as hard difficulty that I already experienced. But autosaves are disabled, so no saving unless we are at the station. Only one save slot, so no multiple saves. If we lose something, it's lost forever. And one life. If you die, you restart or you continue on hard. You can't die. And I like me a good old challenge, even if I am reading some stuff. Now, before we start playing in impossible mode, I would like to read first the attention. Warning, this is an extremely difficult mode aimed at elite Dead Space veterans. While playing in this mode, you will have one life and one save slot. If you lower the difficulty, you will not be able to go back to impossible mode during this playthrough. Completing the game in impossible mode will earn unique rewards that I already told you about. Do you wish to continue? Yes, but not immediately. As I said, this is going to be a really slow and deep playthrough, because we're going to start from some source material on the original game that was presented as a cutscene. But now, on the official EA side, it is presented as a little, read. And that read has the title From the Resource Wars to a Reborn Earth. In the 23rd century, humanity turned to the stars to escape environmental collapse, political unrest, and the deprivation of a resource-starved Earth. World pioneers and wealthy corporations began to rapidly expand into space, founding colonies on new worlds. But space exploration did not provide a reprieve. By the early 2440s, Earth and its colonies were consuming resources faster than they could be mined. Bloody interstellar conflicts known as the Resource Wars had erupted over the remaining scraps, bringing the threat of extinction even closer. Earth's largest energy corporation, the Concordance Extraction Corporation, the CEC, that we will talk about more in another moment, developed a new kind of starship, a planet cracker, capable of ripping apart entire worlds, equipped with a shock point drive that made faster than light travel almost trivial. The ship is the USG Ishimura. Was able to mine war planets so effectively that the resource wars soon came to an end. In time, an entire fleet of CEC planet crackers, run by ardent interstellar mining crews, was providing a steady supply of resources back to Earth. Humanity began to thrive amongst the stars, along with new and influential factions, like the Church of Unitology. It is now 2508. This is the year in which Dead Space 1 is set, even in the original. After operating for over 60 years, the USG Ishimura is undergoing its final mission, mining a remote but mineral-rich planet called Aegis 7 that has been strangely untouched for over a century, and for good reasons, if I may say so myself. Now, this is an example of what we will be experiencing during this playthrough. Now, it's going to be boring for some of you, probably, but this is what I want. I want it slow, some good reads with some thoughts in the middle. It could be more than a live thing, but I like the idea of doing it like this. And whenever I feel like there's a prompt to go and read something that needs to be read, to give it that push, that maybe the game gives you an explanation, but you need something more, that's where we're going to the reading. That is the new version of the cutscene in the original. We now get this in the new EA Dead Space dedicated site, and we don't get a cutscene at the start of the game like in the original. We go straight to the Kellyan mission log.
I think it's me. Oh, I wish I could talk to you. I'm sorry. I'm sorry about everything. I just wish I could talk to someone. It's all falling apart here. I can't believe what's happening. Strange. Such a little thing.
That's her? Nicole?
Yeah. First deferred from her in weeks.
We're 5 minutes out. You still got that thing on repeat? Guess you really miss her.
Ishimura is not a job you turn down, but 6 months apart with only vid calls. It's rough. Easy to say the wrong thing.
I don't blame you. I'd listen to my girlfriend over Hammond reciting security protocols.
Forewarned is forearmed, Miss Daniels.
So you keep saying.
Here we go. Nice clean re-entry. Welcome to Aegis 7.
Imagine 6 months staring at that chunk of rock.
To an independent miner, that's paradise. Aegis 7 is one of the richest finds in CEC history. Some prospecting team set up for life. Now where is she?
There. Confirming visual contact with USG Ishimura.
What a beauty. Biggest planet cracker in her class, you know. And it looks like they already popped the cork.
Why is it so dark? We should be able to see her running lights.
Yeah. I'll get us into hailing range. Someone's got to be waiting up for us.
Just be careful on the approach. I'm not taking any chances with the CEC's pride and joy.
No chances, huh? Is that why you were digging into my personnel files before we left?
You track your file access?
I'm a computer analyst. Comes with the job.
I ran standard CEC background checks, Miss Daniels. If you want to work in the big leagues, you have to play ball.
Sir, we're in hailing range. USG Ishimura. This is the emergency maintenance team of the USG Kellyan responding to your distress call. Come in, Ishimura. Ishimura, do you copy? Come in. This is the USG Kellyan.
You ever hear of a full communications blackout on one of these things?
Never. Come on. Someone pick up the damn phone.
The hell is that?
Sounds like their communication array is busted. Maybe a broken encoder. Daniels and I can handle it in 48 hours, max.
Hey, that gives you plenty of time to catch up with Nicole.
Yeah, I hope so.
Jen, Johnson, take us in.
Gravity tethers engaged. Automated docking. Let's go.
I'm losing control.
Fuck! We're off course!
Daniel!
Guidance system override isn't responsive.
Shit, we're coming in too hot. It's gonna smash us into the hull.
Jen, aim for that emergency stabilizer. There, the blue light. It might slow us down.
Got it.
Drop the flash shield. Everyone brace yourself. Everyone okay?
I'm good.
I'll live. Hey, Johnston. All right?
It's my ankle. Might be broken.
Shit. But better than a broken neck. Or worse. Good call on the stabilizer, Isaac.
Gotta always read the manual.
What the fuck's going on with flight control? That guidance system's a death trap.
Better add it to your repair list. Jen, what's our damage?
Comms are down. We lost a port booster. Got a fire in one of the stabilizers and... Singularity core's a mess. Could be worse, but not by much.
And let's get some help. Johnston, stay with the Kellion. We'll send a medic. Everyone else, with me.
And he puts on the mask. Chapter 1, New Arrivals. And immediately the objective gets updated.
Forget something?
How's the ankle?
It's like hell. But I've had worse. You go on. I'll get it strapped up.
So, first of all, we crash landed on the Ishimura. A big ship, as you saw from the window of
I
the
got
little
this, Isaac.
Kellion.
You go get help.
And something else.
Staying clear.
Crap, we came down hard.
Not a great start to our repair mission.
Pulse rifles?
Standard procedure, Miss Daniels. We'll register them in the flight lounge.
Hello? Where is everybody? Half the ship must have heard that landing.
Be proud, Jen. You gotta see her one piece.
Johnson might disagree. What? You're off in about the first round.
I wouldn't mind something to steady my nerves, especially in CEC.
No, nobody.
As you can hear, the remake not only added Isaac as dialogue, now he speaks. He can tell you about how he hates what's happening. But also, a lot of the characters have banter between themselves. Well, as long as there's someone else they can banter with. Structure and things about the Ishimura have changed. And before we move on with reading stuff and other things, I will shut up whenever a character speaks, so everyone can hear, and then I will talk. Reading, we will read all the text logs, and if needs be, add some information on the text logs. Right at the start, what in the original 2008 was a medkit became a text log. A very important one as well, because it's the background request Hammond asked from one of his colleagues, I presume. Background request to Zach Hammond from Anonymous. Background request. Per your request is what we could find on these specialists they've sent for the repair mission. First one, Isaac Clarke. Isaac was born to Paul and Octavia Clarke on Earth in the eastern seaboard region of the American Republic. Paul Clarke was an award-winning ship architect employed by the Galactic Union Merchant Marine Corps. His records show extended time off-world away from his family. When Isaac was born, Paul was given a temporary reassignment to an Earth-based GUMMC ship production facility. During the 4-year tour, Paul and Octavia raised Isaac together. When the tour was over, Paul shipped off for an extended off-world tour. Paul's influence on his son must have rubbed off. Records indicate Isaac pursued studies in mechanical and electrical engineering and achieved high honors. According to medical and psychiatric reports, Paul Clark's absence had a profound effect on Octavia. She suffered from depression and personal anguish, until doctors encouraged her to find fulfillment by working with charitable organizations. It is believed that this is how she ended up coming in contact with the Church of Unitology. At first, her association with the church appeared to alleviate her mental condition. The cancellation of her therapy sessions corresponds with the local parish announcements of her initiation ceremony. There are indications that she sold off much of the family estate to finance full membership in the church, and the soul cleanse they require to enter the higher ranks. This church sounds very, very promiscuous if you ask for money to get into higher ranks. But again, we don't speak religions around here. We are in hell at the moment, you know. Isaac appears to have been selected to a prominent engineering school, but we summarize that he was unable to afford the tuition, as records show that he instead attended a lesser-known school with the help of scholarships and financial assistance. And only because his mother, decided that paying the church was more important. After graduating with high honors, Isaac enlisted in the Merchant Marine. He quickly gained a reputation for his resourceful engineering solutions, and after 2 years was promoted to a higher profile position, closer to the major shipping lanes. Isaac's career stagnates at this point. This would coincide with psychiatric reports that his mother's mental health was deteriorating, and bank records show payments to a psychiatric facility for treatment. This seems to be where Isaac met a medical officer and neuropsychiatrist called Nicole Brennan. So he started dating his mother's shrink. And her name appears on Octavia's physician roster. The two of them ended up cohabitating until Brennan accepted a promotion and left to serve on the USG Ishimura. Paul's return from his extended tour coincided with Octavia's release from the hospital. Whatever his assignment was, Paul's service records remained mysteriously classified by executive order, and unless he confided in Isaac, he took his secrets to the grave. The next records we have are death notices for both Paul and Octavia. We don't know what Isaac's father was doing. It isn't told in the game, but this log wasn't even in the original. We didn't know all this. This was not said. As much as I try to remember and play the original again, this was not there. And this gives a lot of context about Isaac that isn't given in another place, not even in the official EA site. We have this much depth on Isaac's background. Their bodies were willed to the custody of the Church of Unitology, along with the Clark's entire estate, apparently on Octavia's wishes. Isaac's repeated petitions to have his parents' bodies returned seem to have been ignored. Since the church refuses any inquiries related to its members, the cause of death is unknown. Overall, Isaac's more than qualified to handle a job like the Ishimura. I'd talk politics over religion though. I will too, because if Isaac hates this Church of Unitology, he has good reasons for it. Not only did they brainwash his mother, they also took both the entire family estate and his parents' bodies. And they refuse not only to respond in any way, but to give them back completely. On Isaac, we also have, as I was saying, the official site version of information, and that is Isaac Clark. Isaac is an experienced engineer who specializes in repairing starships and industrial systems. Liked and trusted by his colleagues, Isaac has a reputation for unconventional but clever engineering solutions. A repair mission to the USG Ishimura offers Isaac a chance to reunite with his girlfriend, Nicole, who is serving on board. We get this only from the side, and is a description of the current Isaac, not of his background. In the text log in the game, we also get Kendra Daniels. I couldn't find anything on her in the time you gave me, but Dalton swears by her. Apparently, she's on the mission with his recommendation. If he thinks she has what it takes, who am I to argue? Giving her a little space from the EA official source, We get Kendra is an expert in diagnosing and hacking computer systems, assigned to assist in repairing the USG Ishimura. Though Kendra has done contract work for CEC in the past, this is her first mission with Isaac and Amon's team. She's never got over disdain for CEC's corporate culture and prefers to operate on her own terms. Not exactly what you'd call a team player, and not exactly something you need when you work on important stuff like this, you know? It's very dangerous to bring people that don't like to work in teams when you need a team. Before I bore you to death with informations, we shall take a look at the gear, like the rig, that is this spinal thing on our back, and the suit itself in another moment. Now, breathe in the Ishimura's dust and foggy insides while we walk towards the symbolic sign with the flashing R.
Hey, Isaac. Coming?
I am coming, yes.
At least we didn't take out the sign.
That's the important part. Do not take out the sign.
May as well get signed in.
Everyone has a rig, as you can see. Different from ours though. You see? He has a
Isaac,
rig,
come sync your rig.
but without a stasis.
Welcome, Isaac Clarke, to the USG Ishimura.
And there it is.
Rig synced. Collect kinesis and stasis modules from Acting Chief Engineer Jacob Temple. Location? Error. Employee not found.
I can't reach security.
Same for the chief engineer. What is wrong with their comms?
You all can tell that the Ishimura isn't exactly in the best of shakes. Oh, credits. If you're asking, credits are just the money in the future. Instead of hard cash, we get chip.
Someone left in a hurry.
Where's the security detail? Where's anybody?
There's nothing logged. No duty roster, no power to the elevator.
For God's sake. That security console's still working. Isaac, get a damage report. I'm done playing around.
If we wait out here for a bit, we actually get some dialogue that wasn't in the original.
Does anyone else smell that?
Smell what?
Like something died in the air vents. Oh.
That we need to talk about. That
Can you
is a
reroute power to the elevator?
If I can figure
very
out
good
why
piece
it's
of
down.
dialogue. Because in the
Try that
original,
security console.
they don't talk about that. They just say, okay, get inside, get a damage report, you go, and everything goes to hell. In here, Chen actually says he smells rotten from the vents when he gets to around here. And we know
Isaac, try that security
that
console.
necromorphs go around in the vents. No question is made about that. I don't need to tell you about that. Everyone knows that necromorphs go around in vents. That would explain the smell. Immediately we get another text log, this time on the USG Ishimura.
Security console.
Disclaimer: this article is sponsored by CEC's print and publishing division and may not represent the views of Amazing Universe magazine. Imagine a world where basic resources like fuel, ore, metals and ice are hard to come by. Imagine if humanity's needs were entirely dependent on the nearly extinct resources of Earth and the dwindling supplies of the colonies. All the readers don't need to imagine such a world. You lived it. Less than a century ago.
Isaac, try that
Looking to the
security
stars for additional resources was nothing new. But at the time, the only shock point capable ships were smaller vessels that could barely keep up with demand. Enter the Ishimura. Named after the celebrated astrophysicist and inventor of the shockpoint drive, Hideki Ishimura, the USG Ishimura was the first of the massive planet cracker ships. Built in 2446, she has enjoyed a long and storied career. The Ishimura was the first vessel of her size to utilize the shockpoint drive for large-scale commercial deep space expeditions. At her inception, the Ishimura was hailed as the savior of the colonies. She was created to mine and process asteroids and even small moons with remarkable efficiency. She was also the first ship capable of pioneering scan and catch
Isaac, try that security
technique
console.
for harvesting mineral-rich asteroids. Utilizing huge gravity tethers, the Ishimura could lock onto asteroids and pull them inside the ship's massive collections bays for quick and efficient smelting. At 62 years old, the Ishimura is still in remarkable shape. Her equipment has been upgraded over the years, and many of her interior spaces have been retrofitted to take advantage of current technological advances. Despite so many long years of service, she remains the pride of the CEC fleet, and is still the company's largest planet cracker. Whenever a vital deep space mining project requires skill, experience, and dedication, the Ishimura is ready to answer the call. It is ships like the Ishimura and the dedication of the men and women who crew her that built the Concordance Extraction Corporation into the trusted, dependable resource provider it is today. This gives us quite
Isaac, try that
the
security
interesting insight on the Ishimura. But I'll need to bore you for a bit longer, because on the official EA site, we get this. The USG Ishimura, length 1.6 kilometers, launched on March 07, 2446,
Try that security console.
and it started commission on June 09, 2446. Flagship of the CEC fleet, the USG Ishimura is the first planet cracker class vessel, designated to tear entire worlds apart with powerful gravity tethers, mine the resulting asteroids, and process the ore on board. It is named after astrophysicist Hideki Ishimura, inventor of the shockpoint drive that allows faster than light travel,
Isaac,
and
try that
one
security console.
of the first capital starships to be outfitted with the drive. The ship is considered one of humanity's greatest achievements. Without the resources gathered by the Ishimura, Earth and its colonies would still be embroiled in the resource wars. The Ishimura has been in continuous service since it was commissioned, completing 34 planet cracks and mining 40 trillion kilotons of product over 62 years of operation. Equipped for long-term, deep space operations, in addition to its mining decks, the Ishimura has a fully hydrophonic suit, medical labs, and health and leisure facilities to accommodate a crew of over 1,000 people. Despite its faithful service, the Ishimura is growing obsolete. CEC is planning to decommission the planet cracker in 2509. A year is missing for the Ishimura to stop working, because in the game, we are currently in 2508, as I said at the start. Meanwhile, the Ishimura has been sent on a final mission to mine the remote world Aegis
Try that security console.
7. That is a lot of information. I know the first episodes are going to be all about politics and information like that. Before we go ahead, let me open the rig. We talk about rig interface, credits, nodes, air, armor, clearances,
Try that
map,
security console.
and other things in another moment. This is for episode 2. For now, We will read every single objective when I manage, because the game doesn't go in pause. The menu is in the game, is built in the game. I don't have to stay still with Isaac. I can still move, I can go around, I can do whatever I want. But I can't
Isaac, try that security console.
put a stop. If I put pause, the game is paused. It's not in the rig. We're going to read main objectives and side missions alike. Why? Because every mission has Isaac's personal journal that now has Isaac's thoughts in some way. Let's start from the activate the security console. Something's not right on the flight deck. I should get a full damage report from that security console. That is exactly
Isaac,
what we
try
will
that
do.
Security console.
Yes, I am going, Gammon.
Something on the floor here. Is that?
Isaac, I need that damage report.
Now, as soon as I see blood, I would jolt out. No questions asked. And also, with the remake, there's a lot more clear pieces of paper. Like this little piece of paper that says, change the fucking filter cartridge. Please. You two, please don't get mad at me for the F word. I am merely reading what's on screen. Understand? Thank you. Let's go ahead with the damage report then.
Oh god, that smell.
Again, the smell in the vents.
Shit. It's not just comms with the guidance system. Half the Ishimura's in the red. Engines, hull, the tramps.
Could do that kind of damage to a planet cracker.
Okay. got it.
Well,
Power.
vent system got up.
Power to the elevator should be.
Hazardous anomaly detected. Quarantine activated.
Another malfunction?
No. The quarantine systems are all fine.
Oh, wait. Do you hear that?
Yeah. Yeah, I hear it.
Hammond?
Take it easy. Daniels, get those elevators running.
There's something in here with us.
And we say goodbye to Chen.
Daniels, get the doors open.
Get out of there!
Kendra, the door!
We should as well, Isaac. Okay. As you can see, the... Okay. While we go down in this peaceful elevator fall, I can confidently tell you that that chase sequence is very different from the original. And that is because in the original, the necromorphs started coming out behind you and never in front of you, to give you a sense of fake scares, because you were in danger but not in a real sense. They didn't even try to attack you most of the times. While this time, during my first run, I actually got slashed 3 times because the necromorphs just pulled out in front of me. Now, I know there was a lot of reading, and I know there is a lot more to talk about, but for now, I'm going to separate a lot of the episodes, not more than 40 minutes each. Half an hour should be ideal, or they would be too heavy for everyone to see. So, we are already at 40 minutes also. We didn't get too far, but we read a lot of things. And for now, Elgads, I have to say goodbye. I know this is something new. Could be boring for a lot of people. I don't even know if someone is interested, because everyone can read these. I'm just going to put my thoughts and a sprinkle of opinion and some things. I'm going to talk about the game and the original a lot, because that's what you do when you get a remake of something. But for the rest, Elgads, it's been a pleasure. And I'll see you all again quando torneremo a guardare le stelle. See you next time.